Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. Before you start, go and check out What If Naruto Went Back in Time on this channel, and on my second channel go and check out What If Naruto Was the Next Stage of Six Path. But for now, I'm gonna be giving you part 24 of What If Kurama gave Naruto a dojutsu. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual. And if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and click that red subscribe button and join the Anime King family. And thank you all for your help and your support. And go ahead and check out my second channel, Anime King 2, and enjoy. So yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into it. Start with the intro. You can change. You satisfy the rage in me. Take away my pain. You satisfy the rage in me. So the last time we left off, Naruto was in a council meeting where Sarutobi tell everyone that Naruto was a son of the 4th Hokage Minato because Naruto is now a Jonin and he's able to protect himself, so there is no longer hiding the secret, and Naruto is the heir of the Uzumaki clan. Also, Sarutobi also told Naruto that he's gonna need a lot more women because he's the heir of a clan and he need to repopulate it. So a lot of things happen in the meeting, but if you guys haven't yet, switch across to the playlist and check it out for yourself. So let's start this new episode. If that is all, said Sarutobi, I call this meeting to an end, as he then dismissed everyone. Naruto, Haku and Kiba met up with Tatsumi as all of them walked to the Inuzaka compound. Never thought that I would be in the bingo book so early, Kiba said while Tatsumi patted his back. Well, whatever you do, don't die, because I don't take lightly to users. Remember to always be on your guard and protect yourself. Suddenly, Tatsumi then shake as she felt a finger run down her back as she turned to see the smiling face of Naruto. Don't be like that, Tatsumi. You know me. Kiba and Haku won't lose to anyone once I'm there, Naruto said while Tatsumi blushed. She then chuckled as she kissed Naruto on the cheek that got a few murmurs from the people that were out in public. Naruto blushed as he turned and looked back at her. I didn't know that you were so bold, Tatsumi, Naruto said as she smirked, and they continued to walk. There is a lot of things you don't know about me, Naruto, she said to him. Naruto raised an eyebrow as he then grinned. He then whispered something in her ear. I am looking forward to learn a lot more about my alpha female, Naruto said as she started to blush an insane red. So Naruto, when are you going to your compound? Haku asked him. Naruto smirked as he turned to the direction of his apartment. Right now, as soon as I pack my things. You should pack also, Haku, you're going to live with me. I don't mind adding you to my clan. We aren't lovers yet, and I know that Tatsumi will want to test you in some way. But I think that I can do this much, Naruto told her. Haku blushed slightly as she and Naruto walk off to the apartment. However, Tatsumi stopped him and brought him back to her gaze. Before you go, and before having this a 10-woman harem thing, who was the last of the 4 you wanted to introduce me to? She asked. Oh yeah, said Naruto as he zipped down his shirt. Kasumi then pointed her head out of the jacket as Naruto pointed to her. That made all of them gasp. You pick Kasumi? You're into that stuff? Asked Kiba, as he found the situation quite funny, as Tatsumi was looking at Naruto and Kasumi. Tatsumi then smiled as she looked at Naruto. Tell me, did Kasumi show you her human form? Naruto gasped as he didn't know that she knew. She rolled her eyes and waved this confusion off with her hand. Please Naruto, you're not the first to be attracted to their companion. Some of the earlier members loved their companion that way too. It was really looked down by most, so they either kept it a secret or didn't do anything. Don't feel bad about it too much, Tatsumi said to him. Naruto chuckled while Kasumi gave a small yip of happiness. I never knew that. Why is our clan so weird? Kiba asked as Tatsumi patted him on the back. I want you to see one of our female dogs use that jutsu. You won't think it will be so weird then, she said to her son. And with that, Tatsumi and Kiba walked back to the Inuzaka compound, while Haku and Naruto walked back to their apartment to pack their things. Naruto, do you think that I can talk to Kyuubi for a few minutes? Kasumi asked him. Naruto turned as he nodded with a smile and then spoke to the Kyuubi. She closed her eyes and was suddenly brought to the mindscape. She changed to her human form and walked around to find the Kyuubi as she saw her leaning up against a tree. Naruto said you wanted to talk to me, the Kyuubi asked. Kasumi nodded. Kyuubi, do you think that I can ask for a favor? The Kyuubi raised an eyebrow but nodded. Depends on what you want, but sure. What's your favor? The Kyuubi asked. Kasumi blushed then deepened. But it's for Naruto, so she will go along with it. As she then spoke, I want to be able to have kids with Naruto, she said. The Kyuubi dropped her jaw slightly while not being able to take her gaze off Kasumi. As a small smile came to the Kyuubi lip, and then it turned into a chuckle and a full-blown laugh as she rolled on the ground, holding her stomach. You want to have kids with Naruto? The Kyuubi asked. Kasumi just nodded. The Kyuubi laughed for a few minutes, but she then stopped and leaned her back against the tree as she wiped away the tears, as she was laughing so much. That's impossible, Kasumi, the Kyuubi told her flat out, as Kasumi turned her gaze to the ground. As a few tears fall out of her eyes, the Kyuubi then rubbed her chin. Wait, there is a way, as Kasumi turned at her, as she turned her full attention. Are you sure? How? Well, the way you are now, it is impossible, said the Kyuubi. Kasumi raised her eyebrow, since she didn't know what the Kyuubi was saying. What do you mean the way I am now? Kasumi asked. Well, right now, you and Naruto are two different beings. In order for you to have his children, you will have to become a dog or half dog, or you will have to become a human. As Kasumi went quiet as the Kyuubi looked at her. What do I have to do? I will do anything, Kasumi said. She said with utter confidence and serious that the Kyuubi took note of. The Kyuubi chuckled at her seriousness, making Kasumi calm down, as she then went into a funny mood. Well, Kasumi, I am going to have to change your genetic map. For one, you won't be a full dog anymore. I am sure that Naruto will want you to help him with this stuff and carry on the Inuzaka heritage. So, I will be making you a half dog, half human woman, the Kyuubi told her as Kasumi raised her eyebrow, but was surprised when the Kyuubi pointed to her form. How you are now is how you are going to be for the rest of your life. As the Kyuubi went inside of the house and came out back with a mirror, as Kasumi looked in the mirror and eyed her long black hair that went past her shoulders, as she realized in this form she was mostly human, but she still had her tail and her teeth were canine, but they were shorter. And she also had her wolf-like ears on top of her head. So I won't be a full dog ever again? And if I don't do this, I can't have kids with Naruto? Kasumi asked. The Kyuubi just nodded as she heard these questions. Kasumi then just closed her eyes as she stood there without saying a word. She then opened her eyes. Kyuubi, can we bring Naruto in this situation? Kyuubi just nodded as Kasumi then left the clearing as the Kyuubi opened the channel to Naruto and her link outside of the mindscape. During the time Kasumi and the Kyuubi was talking, Naruto and Haku were busy packing their things so they can move into the Namikaze compound. Naruto saw how small his apartment looked with all of the things gone as he sat on the bed. Kasumi then stirred as Naruto turned to her with a small smile, but it quickly faded when he saw the frown on her face. Hey Kasumi, did you have a good talk with the Kyuubi? As Naruto was curious, what did they talk about? Kasumi jumped from Naruto's lap as she landed on the floor. As she turned back to him, to see Naruto muttering to himself. Must be the Kyuubi talking to him, Kasumi said as she watched Naruto's lips move back and front. Normally, anyone would think someone was insane for talking to themselves, but Naruto was far from normal, as Guy was. Maybe a bit of exaggeration on Kasumi's part, but come on. Alright, said Naruto, as he then made a shadow clones and did the same seal as last time, making the Kyuubi can roam free. When she was out, she sit down on the bed next to him, as Kasumi did the same. So what is there to talk about? Naruto asked them. The Kyuubi turned and motioned for Kasumi to say something, since this was what she wanted. But Kasumi stiffened, as she never went through a conversation like this before, so she didn't know how to start it. Naruto raised her eyebrow, as the Kyuubi then sighed as he turned back to the Kyuubi. Alright, I will start it, said the Kyuubi. But before she could say anything, Kasumi then said no in a yell. No, I want to tell him, she said, as she then took a deep breath and started to speak, as she told Naruto everything about her little plan and what she wanted to do. After she was finished, Naruto didn't say anything as his hair was covering his eyes, so she thought that he was upset. Naruto, I am sorry if I upset you. I will just take it all back, she said. But Naruto then started to laugh as tears came out of his eyes. They were tears of joy. Thank you, Kasumi. Thank you. You would do all of this just to make me have a happy life. I am not angry. I don't want you to take it back. Now, we can be together in public and whenever we want, Naruto told her. But it is all your choice. And I just want to tell you how happy I am, and I will stand by any decision you want to make, Naruto said to her. As Kasumi smiled, her smile was bigger than ever as she was so happy. Kasumi then walked over to the Kyuubi. Kyuubi, I have made my decision and I want to be a half human, half dog. If that is the only way I can be with Naruto, she said with a proud smile. The Kyuubi then smiled. Alright, she said, as she got up and ran through hand signs. After a few minutes, Yosuke was running from the Kyuubi into Kasumi, as the Kyuubi eyes were darker than usual. Kyuubi, what is going on? Why did your eye change color? Naruto asked. Kasumi was passed out, but Kurama was still able to answer Naruto's question, as she could still talk. Remember when I gave you that dojutsu? She asked as Naruto nodded. Well, since me and you are connected, I could see your genetic map. But since me and her is not, I have to do it this way. And it changed my eye a bit, she said, as she kept on pumping Yosuke as she was changing her genetic map. About 15 minutes later, the Kyuubi was still doing what she's doing, as Naruto then summoned another clone. Before the clone could say hello, Naruto placed his hand over the clone mouth, didn't want to disrupt the Kyuubi. Please meet up with Haku and bring these things with her over to the Namikaze compound, Naruto told the clone as he didn't want to leave Kasumi or the Kyuubi while this was going on. The clone looked over as he saw the Kyuubi pumping some red chakra around Kasumi unconscious form as he wondered what was going on. But he just nodded as he did what was instructed. As the clone headed off, with the clone, he appeared with a suitcase as he knocked on the door as Haku glared at him. Sorry about the wait, but the boss had a few things to deal with. So he's sorry, the clone said again. Haku's glare softened as she looked at the grinning clone. She then went to grab her stuff as she and the clone walked off. So what is Naruto doing that he couldn't help me? Haku asked the clone. Well, it would take some time to explain. So let's walk and talk, the clone said as they began to walk. The clone and Haku walked past through the village as they met up with the Aberame and the Hyuga clan, as Kiba was there also, who they just wanted to see what does the compound of the Namikaze look like. With that, they all walked through the woods and came up on the narrow pathway. After about 12 minutes of walking, Naruto and the medium-sized group appeared at the house. That looks to be it. But what is this aura surrounding it? Kiba asks. Naruto came up to the building, but he stopped and placed his hands on what appeared to be a barrier. It's a blood barrier, Naruto said. It looks like only my mom or dad can open this door. Well, their blood. Let's see, Naruto said as he pulled out a kunai and pricked his finger. Naruto allowed the blood to pour over the seal, as everyone heard about several gears turn as the barrier then vanished. The house was now accessible as they all went inside, as Naruto took in a view of everything. The yard was filled with plenty of flowers, along with a small pond. The house looked new. It was obvious that someone was cleaning it. Naruto saw a seal on the door as he placed his hand on it and opened it, allowing him inside. As Naruto and his two teammates went inside, wow, this place seemed so quiet and clean and nice. Kiba then looked at Naruto. Naruto, I wonder if you have your own jutsu vault, Kiba said, as everyone still went to look around. As they saw about 6 rooms that had their own bathroom. After looking through the downstairs things, Naruto, Kiba and Haku went upstairs and looked around. There were 4 more rooms, which included the master bedroom and 3 other rooms. Naruto also saw one door to the far back and opened it. Duck! Yelled Naruto as Kiba and Haku dropped to the floor as about 20 kunais and 20 shurikens and 3 windmill shurikens came out and hit the far wall behind them. Kiba gasped while looking at Haku as Naruto chuckled. I guess that dad didn't want anyone getting here. Well, let's get going and keep our guard up, Naruto told them. Both obeyed as they put their senses on high alert. Naruto then found a light switch as he lit the room up as he saw a bookcase with many different scrolls. As all of their eyes gleamed and they dropped their jaws. Seeing so many scrolls, they must be full with jutsu. Kiba then placed an arm on Naruto's shoulder. Well Naruto, you best put your cage bungee to use. Because if you try to read all of this yourself, you would never be done with it, Kiba said, as Naruto nodded at this. As Naruto decided to check these out later. Well, let's set our stuff up, Haku. Since I'm the clan head, I'll take the master bedroom, Naruto said with a devious grin. Haku narrowed her eyes while Kiba snickered. As Naruto picked up his stuff and with Kiba's help, they started to set up the bedroom. Back with the real Naruto and the Kyuubi and Kasumi. Naruto continued to stare at the Kyuubi, who was basically finished and putting the last touches on Kasumi form. It had been more than half an hour, but Naruto didn't really care about the time. He just wanted to know that the both of them are okay. The Kyuubi then stopped, as she then leaned against the bed and wiped the sweat from her forehead. Well, I think that does that, the Kyuubi said as Naruto saw Kasumi on the ground, resting. Naruto raised her eyebrow and turned to Kyuubi for an answer. But Kyuubi, she's still a dog. Shouldn't she be more human looking? The Kyuubi chuckled and rested her head on the pillow of the soft bed. She will change in 3, 2, 1. A puff of smoke covered Kasumi as Naruto turned his gaze. When the smoke cleared, after a minute, Naruto saw the beautiful girl with black hair and a black tail. Naruto stared at her as a blush came across his face. Kasumi, Naruto said, as Kasumi opened her eyes, as she then focused on Naruto, as she then rushed towards him, that caused the both of them to drop on the bed. Naruto, did it work? She said as she swung her tail, waiting for an answer. Naruto stopped himself from doing anything. Calm down, Naruto said to himself. Kasumi is super hot. What am I kidding? She's too damn hot right now. No, I'm not a pervert. But goddamn, Naruto said. The Kyuubi then smiled as she held up a mirror to Kasumi. Kasumi smiled as she examined every inch of her body. She then turned back to Naruto and smiled after seeing his reaction. So Naruto, am I a hot female now? Kasumi asked as she said it in a seducing voice. Naruto dropped his jaw as the Kyuubi got up and headed for the door, which surprised Naruto. Kyuubi, where are you going? Naruto asked. With a bit of helplessness in his voice, the Kyuubi smiled as she opened the door and went outside, as she then turned and faced Naruto before leaving. Well, I am going to help Haku and Kiba set up the house. Also, I am going to put a privacy seal around this house for some reason. Well, Naruto, I'll see you tomorrow, she said. Try not to be exhausted when you show up, the Kyuubi said as she closed the door. Naruto watched her leave as he turned back to Kasumi, who seemed to be breathing heavily. Naruto raised an eyebrow as he placed a hand on her body. Kasumi then stiffened as Naruto leaned up. Kasumi, are you okay? As Naruto looked at her, she had such a needy look in her eyes as Naruto started to crawl back until he hit the wall. He had nowhere to go. She then licked her lips and gave Naruto a seducing smile. Naruto, I think this time is the best for me and you. So Naruto, will you give your Kasumi some quality time? A smile then came on Naruto's face. Hell yeah, he said as she climbed up on top of him. I love you, Naruto, she told him. I love you too, said Naruto. The next day, Naruto laid in the bed as he was all torn up as Kasumi was right beside him. She laid her head on his chest. He smirked as he brushed his hand through her hair. Suddenly, Naruto heard a knock on the door and began to curse in his mind whoever it was as he went over to open it. Naruto twisted the lock and opened the door to see Kakashi in front of him. Naruto narrowed his eyes since he wanted to stay in bed with Kasumi a little longer, but he wasn't going to tell Kakashi that. Can I help you, Kakashi sensei? Naruto asked with a glare that is pretty much telling Kakashi that he wasn't wanted at the moment. Kakashi sheepishly chuckled as he rubbed the back of his head while giving an eye smile to his student. Well, Naruto, I'm sorry for interrupting your morning, but can I come in? Sorry, Kakashi sensei, but you can't at the moment. Now what is it? Naruto asked with haste, wanting the man to get to his point already. Kakashi seemed to notice, but he didn't say anything as he told Naruto the news. Hokage has summoned you and the rest of Team 7 for a mission, Kakashi said as he disappeared in a sunshine. Naruto still had the things in the bathroom, so he brushed his teeth and went and have a shower, and then he put on his black jacket with his red shirt underneath and his standard black pants and his shinobi sandals. Kasumi, time to get up, Naruto said as Kasumi slowly opened her eyes and looked at Naruto. Good morning, Naruto. Do we have anything planned? Kasumi asked him. Naruto nodded and told her what just happened, while Kasumi grumbled as she wanted more quality time with Naruto, as she then borrowed some of Naruto's clothes for the mission because she didn't have any. The both of them then left the apartment as they went to the Hokage's mansion. Naruto and Kasumi entered the room to see Haku, Kiba and Kakashi, and surprisingly, Anko and Kurenai with them. Everyone turned to Naruto, but they didn't know the girl that was with him. Naruto, this is for us only. You're going to have to ask the girl to leave. What are you talking about, Kakashi-sensei? You do know who this is, Naruto said, as both Kiba and Haku smirked. As Kakashi was confused, Kurenai and Anko raised an eyebrow as Kasumi took a seat on Naruto's lap. I think I would have remembered her, Kakashi said. Naruto scoffed as he turned to his one-eye sensei. Just like you can remember to be on time for our meetings. Right, Kakashi-sensei? Naruto asked as Kakashi peeled. Haku and Kiba snickered along with Anko and Kurenai as Kakashi took out his little orange book. Touche, Naruto, Kakashi said and turned his gaze from the two. Haku then walked up. That is Kasumi, isn't it? Making Kakashi whip his head around fast, as Anko then widened her eyes. Kurenai seemed lost for a few minutes, but dropped her jaw as they looked at Naruto's dog companion. And the cat's out of the bag, or in this case, it's the dog, Kiba said with a laugh. Naruto nodded as Kasumi nuzzled into his chest, causing a few confusions. What? Naruto asked, but they all turned their gaze away from him, especially Kiba, Anko and Kakashi. What the hell happened? Kakashi thought. Whoa, she seems really enjoyable in his arms, I wonder how good this kid is in bed, said Anko in her mind, as she had a gleam in her eye, as that made Kurenai's eyes twitch. After about 3 minutes, Sarutobi came in, as he saw Kasumi, but he didn't have time for that now. Naruto waited for Sarutobi to begin, but he jumped slightly as he felt the Kyuubi presence back in the seal. So, did you rock her world, Naruto? The Kyuubi asked as she was curious. After all the work she did, they better have done something worthwhile. Naruto blushed and chuckled slightly as Naruto talked in the mental link. It was wonderful, Kyuubi. Maybe next time you will have a shot at me, Naruto said as the Kyuubi licked her lips as she sat in the grass of the mindscape. Are you challenging me, kid? Cause you know I will win, the Kyuubi said. Well, I will be more than happy to challenge you, said Naruto. But both of them stopped as Sarutobi began to speak. Alright everyone, I have a mission for you all. Recently, after the invasion, we have heard about another attempt by the Sound, and they are trying to get the Rock Village to back them up this time. Your mission is to stop the Sound Ninjas from reaching the Rock Village and deal with them accordingly. Naruto will be the leader of this mission as a way of handling his new position. I want everyone to leave by close to midnight tonight. That is all, said Sarutobi. And with that, they all were dismissed as Naruto smiled. He's going to lead this team and this mission will be a success. But guys, I'm going to be ending this episode right here. If you want to see the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below and turn on that bell notifications they posted. And remember to go ahead and check out what if Naruto went back in time. And also, what if Naruto was the next sage of 6 Path on my second channel. I posted a new episode, so go check it out and enjoy. And also guys, if you're new, remember to click that red subscribe button and join the Anime King family and be a part of the channel. And thank you for all your support and help. But for now, I'm out. Peace.